Happy day, friends. Happy day. I'm going to give everybody a chance to come into the room, to get settled, and then we'll start. This is a guided meditation session, and I am grateful to you all for showing up. You will probably need a journal so that you can take notes once the meditation is over. You will need something to drink, so some water, some tea, whatever you have that you can put beside you so that whenever we're done, you can replenish yourself. And then also, if you need a blanket or a pillow, you want to be lying down, you want to be sitting in a chair, either way is fine. Whatever makes you comfortable, just gather into your space whatever you need to make yourself comfortable for this meditation. I'm super grateful that you all are here for this meditation. I am grateful and honored to be sharing this space with you, to be holding this space, and to have all of you here with me receiving what it is that we are all going to be receiving. So, if you are new here, we always start by connecting with the breath. We always start by honoring the breath, because the breath, our breath, is our life force energy. Without the breath, we would not be here. Without the breath, our lives would cease to exist, as far as in this physical plane is concerned. And so we always start by honoring the breath, by connecting with the breath. So wherever you are, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and begin to just listen to the sound of my voice. Focus your attention on the sound of my voice, as well as your breath. So you are focusing your attention on the sound of my voice. You are focusing your attention on your breath. And begin to just notice your breathing. Begin to just notice how you are breathing. Begin to notice whether or not you are breathing in and out through your nose. Begin to notice whether or not you are breathing deeply, or maybe your breathing is a bit shallow. Begin to notice whether or not your breath is making its way deep into your diaphragm, or if your breath is shallow and staying within your chest. Begin to just take note of your breath. We give thanks for the breath. Once again, that is our life force energy. Our breath is what fuels us. Our breath is what keeps us moving. Our breath is our power. Begin to deepen your breath. So breathing in and out through your nose, begin to deepen your breath. Begin to take deeper breaths. Beginning to make this breath an audible breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll take 2 more deep breaths in, so inhaling through your nose. Exhaling. Breathing in. And breathing out. And you'll keep your eyes closed for a few more seconds, just taking note, noticing how you feel. Noticing how you feel in your body, noticing how you feel in your mind as you took out a moment to reconnect with your breath, to honor your breath, to breathe deeply. Just take note of how you feel. You may even write down a couple of words that describe how you feel after connecting with your breath. What words come up that may describe how you feel after having connected with your breath intentionally? What shifted for you in that small window of time of connecting, of intentionally connecting with your breath? Did anything shift for you? Just taking note, noticing and observing. If you haven't already, go ahead and open your eyes. While this is a meditation that I will be leading us through for the collective, it will be an intuitively guided meditation. You can set your intention. You have your notebook, you have your journal. Maybe you don't, that's fine. But in your mind, in your heart, just notice, just listen. What is your intention for moving through this meditation? What is your spirit's intention? What does your spirit want you to receive while you are moving through this meditation? What does your spirit want you to receive? What does your spirit want to give to you? What does spirit want to offer you as you move through this meditation? Once you are aware of what your intention is, just hold it, see it, feel it. Maybe speak it out loud to yourself and then let it go. And then once you're ready, just allow yourself to relax. If you're lying down, wonderful. If you're seated in a chair or on your bed or on your couch, wherever you are, just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to observe. You'll go ahead and you'll close your eyes once again, and you will just listen to the sound of my voice. You will allow me to guide you through this experience. And we'll all take a deep breath in together. So inhaling through your nose, sighing the breath out through your mouth. And just lean into that stillness, lean into that relaxed feeling. And as we begin, I want you to start to notice in your mind's eye, there's a path. there's a path and you're standing in front of this path. You're looking out onto this path. And I want you to notice yourself begin to take the first step onto this path. And you slowly take a second step. And then you continue slowly moving forward on this path. The scenery of this path can be exactly what your spirit wants it to be. Maybe you see lush lands on each side of the path, flowers, plants, all along this path. Maybe this path is barren. Maybe the land along the path is barren. Just take note of what this path looks like for you as you are slowly walking along this path. Begin to notice the horizon. What does that image look like for you as you are walking along the path, as you are walking towards the horizon? What does that look like for you? And as you continue walking along the path, you look up, you look forward, and you notice that there are some steps. These steps you begin to walk up one at a time without really knowing where the steps are leading at this time. You just start walking. You continue walking up the staircase and you continue to climb and climb and climb up the staircase until finally you reach a door. Notice the details of this door. Notice the color of the door. Notice the doorknob, how ornate or how ordinary the doorknob might be. Notice the color of the doorknob. Notice the material. Notice how big or how small this door that you are currently standing in front of may be. Notice your reaction or response to standing in front of this unfamiliar door. And then after a moment of observing this door, you reach down and you turn the knob. And then you push the door open and you enter into an unfamiliar space. And in this space, you see a chair in the middle of the room. Again, you observe this chair. You take in all of its details, its color, the material that it's made out of, how big or how small it might be. And then you walk towards the chair and you take a seat in this chair. And just notice and observe how comfortable or how uncomfortable you might be seated in this chair. take a moment and allow this image of yourself to settle in to this space. And then, as you settle in and you look up at the wall in front of you, you see a whiteboard. And from behind this whiteboard, you see a figure walk out, clothed in black. You aren't able to see this figure's face. You aren't able to see any part of this figure's body. But this figure walks out and begins writing on the whiteboard. And you're observing. And as you're looking, you notice that the language in which this figure is writing is a language that is unfamiliar to you. And this figure continues to write until the board is almost full. And you're just noticing and observing. What is on this board, as well as the figure who is writing on the board. And then you hear yourself say to this figure, "Can you interpret what you have written for me? Can you interpret what you have written on this board for me?" So the figure begins to speak. Speaking in a language that is familiar to you. Speaking in a language that you understand. And what you begin to notice is that this figure is sharing things with you about yourself that no one else should know. This figure is sharing things with you about yourself that feel so very familiar to you, but that in the reality in which you live, you have yet to experience. And then you ask this figure, what am I supposed to do with this information that you have just shared with me? And you wait. The figure goes silent. And you are just observing, listening, waiting. Observing, listening, waiting. And then the figure finally responds to you, giving you direction, sharing with you, telling you what it is that you are to do with this information that they've just shared with you. And then at the end of this figure sharing this information, you hear them say, remember that it's always done on time. It's always done on time. It's always done on time. And then this figure walks away back behind the whiteboard, no longer in view, no longer in the room. You take one last glance at the whiteboard and you notice that the language on the whiteboard is no longer unfamiliar to you, but you know very well what has been written on this whiteboard. And then you notice the whiteboard disappear. And you begin to notice yourself in your mind's eye stand up. You're no longer seated in the chair. And the chair disappears. And you notice yourself walk back towards the door, which opens wide for you. You walk through, and you turn around and you close the door. And then you begin to descend down the stairs, taking one step at a time. One step at a time until you reach the bottom of the staircase. And you begin walking back down the path. And as you're walking back down the path, begin to just notice any changes that have taken place along the path. Notice any changes that have taken place along the horizon. What are you seeing now? Has anything changed? Can you just notice and observe as you're walking back along this path? And as you reach the end of the path, again, you just take one more look around at the surroundings. And then you take a deep breath in. And you exhale. And you let go of this image from your mind's eye. And you breathe in through your nose. And exhale, sighing it out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, sighing it out through your mouth. Deep breath in. And sigh it out through your mouth. When you are ready, begin to open your eyes, slowly opening your eyes, making any small movements that you may need to make with your hands, maybe stretching your arms above your head. Just noticing how you feel. Noticing any shifts that may have taken place for you. Pulling out your journal, taking notes, writing down what was said to you, remember that it's always done on time. Remember that it's always done on time. If you have any thoughts that you would like to share, leave them in the comments. If you would like to share what came through for you, leave it in the comments. If you want to share about how this experience was for you, again, you can leave it in the comments. I would love to know how this experience was for you. I would love to know what your spirit wanted you to receive through this meditation. I'm grateful to you for being here with me. I'm honored to have been able to lead you through this meditation into this space where you could receive from your spirit. I think that's the most important thing, is that oftentimes we look to other people to feed us, to give to us, to speak to spirit on our behalf. And the reality is that we all have access. And so I hope that that's something that you were able to see and experience through this meditation, is that I was simply the guide and you were the recipient, you were the dictator of your experience, you were the one orchestrating the experience on your behalf. And so I hope that you received whatever it was you needed to receive from this meditation. I love you, and I will see you for the next one.